Let's analyze Marathon Digital stock and its current situation, touching upon financial indicators as well as volatility. We'll also look at implied volatility smile and examine option chains across all strikes. Additionally, I'll demonstrate 3D volatility. We'll then formulate a risk-free strategy. Let's start from the beginning. As a reminder, Marathon Digital is involved in cryptocurrency mining. First, let's take a look at Bitcoin because it's closely related to our topic. Indeed, over the past 6 months, Bitcoin has surged by 160%, which is a significant increase. However, Marathon stock, which is directly involved in Bitcoin mining, grown about 300%. Currently, we're experiencing stagnation. I always like to illustrate the correlation between Bitcoin and this stock. Previously, Bitcoin and Marathon had a correlation of 100% with some deviations, but mainly they moved together. However, recently, there has been a decoupling. Bitcoin continued to rise, while Marathon Digital Holdings did not. Let's examine the financial indicators of this company. In reality, the company is nearly profitable, with only a small operating loss. However, its profit and revenue growth are significant, largely due to the rise in cryptocurrency. I also want to show this ratio as we can see that currently, all companies involved in cryptocurrency mining, particularly Bitcoin mining, are making substantial profits. Furthermore, I'd like to remind you that recently Bitcoin mining rewards have halved. Let's come back to the company a little later. First, let's look at the volatility in the derivatives market. What it tells us initially. We see that the volatility is around 120%. This is a lot. Therefore, we can take this into account for further development of a sound strategy. Let's look at the volatility smile. As we can see, the closer strikes are more volatile, meaning they lean towards puts, towards decrease. We have a very strong rise in volatility in both directions. However, the distant strikes actually have not such high volatility, they have a flat line, both for upward and downward movements, meaning investors are incorporating an equal chance of growth both upwards and downward. Let's look at historical and implied volatility. Historical volatility is the gray line, implied volatility is the white line. Mostly these lines converge, as we see that historical volatility is currently higher than its implied values, but not critically so. In fact, I really like using volatility compression strategies and returning to volatility back to its historical values. Well, it doesn't matter where the stock price goes. It can go up or down. I'm playing the stock stagnation, and yes, you can also make money on volatility movement. But at the moment, I wouldn't advise you to build such strategies because the potential gains here are not very significant. Since in any case, the volatility is very high for this company. Let's look at the options trading volume. We have a very large volume concentrated at the $30, $22, and $20 levels regarding call option. Put options are not traded as heavily. The main volume is concentrated at the $20 level. Everyone is, of course, buying call options, betting on the growth of this stock. I also want to point out this huge wall at $30. As we can see, we touched this level several times. It was at the end of December and the end of February, and we still haven't been able to break through $30. Yes, there were a couple of days when the stock surpassed this value, but it hasn't managed to overcome this barrier yet. So I always show you and draw your attention to these indicators because they are really important. Apart from $30, we have walls at $22 and $20. And as we can see, the stock is consolidating at $20. It has been a significant amount of time already. And this, of course, is primarily associated with these huge walls in option. It's important not to forget about that. Let me also show you 3D volatility. Here we immediately see all the volatility across all strikes and expiration dates. Professionals often use this. Those who understand calls and puts will immediately grasp what strategy can be built here. Let's immediately move on to constructing some interesting strategy. But again, I want to warn everyone, as usual, I strongly do not recommend replicating my trades. It's extremely risky. You can lose money if you open positions as I do. This is our efficiency profile. That is, if the stock grows significantly to $30, we will earn $1,000. If the stock goes down to $13, we earn $600. As you can see, no matter which way the stock moves, we make money. That's what effective position management is all about. Again, here we have sold uncovered puts. It's important to manage the risk in the strategy. I absolutely do not recommend opening it because if you open it and just leave it as is, you will definitely lose money. I guarantee it. Here you need to hedge the put, buy new puts, sell new puts. I do not recommend getting involved with this strategy. Let's get back to the stock. What's happening with it? Again, as I mentioned before, Bitcoin has grown very significantly for us. It's at its historical high. Well, at least almost at its historical high. But Marathon Digital stock is far from its historical high. There are two options here. Either it hasn't realized its potential yet and will continue to grow even stronger, or all the movement in Bitcoin is already priced into this stock. And if Bitcoin starts to fall, then this stock will also start to fall. In reality, I lean more towards the second option. If we haven't been able to grow when Bitcoin and the yield on mining cryptocurrencies are at their historical highs, I just fear to imagine what will happen when Bitcoin crashes. Of course, it's hard for me to predict Bitcoin's movement. It could also continue to grow. But again, caution is needed here. But regardless of what I say, I'll remind you of my philosophy. It doesn't matter where the stock goes. The most important thing is to manage positions wisely. And yes, I admit, I've been honest with you. I don't know where the stock will go. I don't try to predict price movements, not even by 50%. I focus on managing positions effectively. That's what I do. When to open a position, when to close it, how to hedge. I just want to remind you that soon, when I monetize my YouTube channel, I'll open a new account that I'll fund with the income from YouTube. All the income from the YouTube channel, I'll redirect it into a new portfolio. portfolio, and you'll see how the portfolio is being formed. I'll have around 10 stocks there, high quality ones. I'll trade options, hedge, will definitely outperform the SP 500. I'll show you truly effective position management. I won't promise instant gains of 100% or 200%, so as soon as I get monetization, I'll start. Subscribe to follow this experiment and not miss out. I've already mentioned that the risks in this stock are very high, especially if Bitcoin starts to correct. But if you believe in this company over the long term, if you believe in cryptocurrencies, that's a different conversation altogether. I don't have this stock in my portfolio. I'm not opening positions on it either. I'm waiting for development. If this stock drops significantly, yes, maybe I'll add it then. But again, I'll be looking at its financial indicators. I also advise you to watch my previous video related to this stock. There I also detailed the strategy. What could happen with it? Good luck to everyone.